my mind kind of works around how what is actually out there that is that touches on real people's real existence. A good example of that has been for several years ago now, about 4 or 5, attending a conference in the United States, a presentation on opportunities for greening of buildings. Well, we in the construction industry know, and anybody who's preaching greenhouse gas emissions knows that buildings produce 30% of the greenhouse gas emissions. The presentation I attended said that the biggest opportunity for the mechanical trades in construction is retrofitting buildings. There's $1 trillion worth of work across the United States over very few years on the horizon for retrofitting buildings. That's good business. So instead of building things like Site C, instead of pouring dollars into new debt, instead of trying to put a jewel in the tarnished crown of Christy Clark to build an LNG plant in Howe Sound that has the potential for the kind of damage and destruction it has, why not take those same investments, that same initiative, put it in something real that's going to happen anyway, and move on, make something new and different. People sometimes come up with the criticism that if you're green, you must be a tree hugger. You have no particular regard for the economy, and you have some wish for a future that is nowhere near anything in reality. The point that is clearly made to me, and it backstops all of my interest in this, and I remind people of this: my knowledge and appreciation for what not only the Green Party can do, but the whole movement behind it in sustainable resources, sustainable energy, and sustainable environment come from my background in an industry specifically or generally in construction, and specifically in mechanical trades. These things, the innovation is being done today. The problem is British Columbia is falling behind. States like California, where 40% of their energy is generated from renewable resources, such as solar and wind power. When whole cities in Europe go off the grid for days and weeks at a time, because they're selling power back to the energy system, back to the grid. When that movement is upon us, and whereas we in British Columbia are perpetuating a fossil fuel industry that frankly will run out in probably less than a decade. And we've done nothing to prepare for the future, except build monstrosities and white elephants like Site C as a substitute, and claiming, meanwhile, while destroying the environment, treading on First Nations rights and privileges, and destroying the environment in the process, all to feed a liquefied natural gas industry that further destroys the environment by fracking for the fuel, destroying the water in the production, only to sell a fuel to an offshore buyer, is hardly the type of future that will bring us to equal the future that's before us. We will be left in the weeds while the rest of the world marches past us. And yet all of the opportunity is there. There is nothing in the renewable resource, nothing in the renewable energy field that we can't touch. Wind, probably first and foremost. The opportunity there is tremendous. Solar, people poo-poo that as a possibility for rain-drenched British Columbia. It ain't so. All you have to do is investigate, put the facts in front of you, look at the options, and then elect a government that will support movement toward those options. And the rest of this will be history in very short order. It's far more rewarding to be green and sustainable, to be improving the planet, to reducing the carbon footprint, and to providing a future in new technologies for our young people to look forward to.